to Jake Jackets. Gear up to fire the cannon and hit the ice with your host, Jay Ashdown and Jake Gehringer.
I know! $69, pretty nice. It's just unreal. And he says he wants to get rid of shootouts, which is just perfect. Finally, somebody says something about that, right?
Hey, you want to know why he wants to get rid of shootouts?
Because they're a shitty way to end a game.
Also because, could you imagine if we extended 5-on-5 overtime?
Oh, God.
Dude, think about that. That's like 4 or 5 more goals a year that he's going to score.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's another, just tack on a few more. Oh, man. Hi, everybody. This is a fun one. It's a weird morning.
It is.
As we record this.
I'm not going to lie. It's a weird, I don't know why it's weird, but it's weird.
Because like today, for like me personally, it's a fun day because it's one of my favorite rock stars' birthdays. Happy birthday to the man, Warren, Ohio's own Dave fucking Grohl.
Love that guy. So much.
God, I love him to death. He's one of the most like down to earth celebrities in the world.
Yeah, he's just very chill, low key guy. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously after losing both Kurt and Taylor.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You start off as the biggest drummer in one of the biggest bands in the world. You lose your singer.
And you're like one of your best friends.
Yeah.
And then it happens again.
And you lose your drummer this time.
Yeah,
it's just so brutal. And
beyond words, But
he's I want to say 54 this year, 1969, right?
There's no way that he is 54.
No,
not a chance.
I don't know. It's just like
he looks awesome.
He looks so good for his age, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, just we wish him all the best, and I know they're coming back, and they're going to be different.
Yeah, it's going to be different, but I'm glad that they're coming back because I love them.
Yeah, I love the Foos so much. It was funny because, like, just to give you a little inside baseball, we were starting this. I've been jamming Foos all morning long, and Jay was like, "I'm ready," and I was in the middle of listening to Shame.
Yeah. It was about time you got on. I was waiting for you.
Waiting for me this time, right?
Yeah, even though I delayed the podcast like a half an hour because I didn't want to get out of bed.
No, I've been there. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Talk here.
Getting to some pucks and some pigskin and some fun stuff. We're in the halfway point of the hockey season.
Yeah.
But the playoff picture in the NFL is pretty set up.
Yeah.
Pretty set up.
We got 2 games today. We got Seahawks and 49ers. And then the night game is...
Obviously, this will drop like during these games.
What's the night game tonight?
I don't know.
Chargers Jags, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert. That's gonna be a good matchup.
Wow, my brain is always like, when it comes to these ad reads, I have something clever and then it just leaves when we start these.
You gotta write that down.
I know I should have wrote it down because I had this whole thing where I was gonna just like have all these rhymes, make it fun. But now it's just gonna be a boring old ad read. So NFL Wildcard Weekend is here, and with an official sports betting partner of the NFL, DraftKings Sportsbook. We'll kick off the road to the Super Bowl. And new customers can bet just $5 and get 200 in free bets right away. Plus, if you're new, if you're already here, you get a free no sweat bet each day of wildcards this weekend.
So I used that for today's game. I think it's up to $10 you can get back for your bet. So I just bet $10 on the Seahawks because they're the underdogs. So I'm like, hey, if they upset them, I'll get a bunch of money. But if they don't win,
right,
I can get my money back and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. No sweat bets are good for wild card matchups in particular,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right? So, because I mean, like you said, it's just you put a little bit down
Mm-hmm.
and you get it right back, like no problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could use it on the night game with Jags tonight because who knows what's going on with them. The Seahawks are a good bet for that.
5 straight for the Jags, and they're underdogs against the Chargers without Mike Williams. I really, really like that line.
I know you could probably just because I know last episode Jay talked about putting money down on Cincy to just go all out and win it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, you could because you never know.
Yeah. Well, I like their odds. I think they're fourth or fifth highest odds. I think it's
Something.
Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Eagles.
Keep
And then,
underestimating us, baby.
yeah, exactly. Those are
Keep
good odds.
underestimating
It's a
the
good team.
jungle.
One of the best defenses in the league. You've got a top 3 quarterback. You've got probably one of the best weapons room in the entire league with
You have a wide
Lamar,
receiver trio
Tyler,
that is just, yeah.
Joe Mixon. Hayden
Joey.
Hurst is a pretty underrated tight end, I think. He
Mhm.
kind of gets, overshadowed by the other guys out there.
You have one of the best kickers
Yeah. Clutch
in
kicker. Like
McPherson.
the only thing that's a concern with the Cincinnati Bengals is how banged
Offensive
up the
line, like
offensive
they always
line.
are.
But we saw last year it didn't matter. They went to the
No,
Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. So I don't think that there's I don't doubt it too much. I
they
really do
just got to
believe that the
keep
Cincinnati
protecting
Bengals will do it.
Joey,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
as best as they can. And when they can't, I mean, Joe still finds magical ways to make things work.
Also, here's the other thing. The biggest threat to win the AFC right now is Kansas City. No doubt about it. Highest odds.
Yeah, sure.
Joe Burrow's 3-0 against them.
There you go.
Just throwing that out there. He's 2-0 in Cincinnati against them. He's 1-0 in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game against them. Just keep that in mind.
I know my mom really likes Patrick Mahomes, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm a Burrow guy. I'm a Burrow guy.
Joey B. And you can bet on Joey B and the boys with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code THPN. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL and get 200 in free bets instantly. Only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with the code THPN. And now we're getting into Kepi Keepers by DraftKings.
Yes. I went first last time, I believe.
Yes. No, wait. I went first because you said that you were going to match with mine because it was Kirill, right?
That's why I didn't recognize it because we're both like, cool. I don't know if we're gonna have the same person. We might, but
We might.
For 2 reasons, I am going to give it to Johnny Gaudreau.
Huh?
One,
Or not?
one is because he scored a goal.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, he gave us life against.
And 2 is the other reason he is getting my Kepi Keeper presented by DraftKings is because I bet on him the over for over 2.5 shots on goal, and he doubled it. He had 6 shots on net along with the goal. So I won money off of Johnny Gaudreau. Thank you very much, Johnny. My bank account appreciates it very much.
We actually, it's funny. I was just reading like before we started this. I mean, it's also nice because he still doesn't, like, as far as we know, right? He loves the decision that he made to come here still.
Yeah.
And just knowing that
the only thing he's annoyed about is having to answer the same damn question 10 million.
Oh, asking why he came here?
It's like, hey, now that the team stinks, so do you have any regrets about it? It's like, no, I didn't sign here on a 1-year deal.
No, exactly.
I sat here for 7 years.
I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for my family. I'm here to develop with this team.
Yeah.
I'm here to lead this team.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, as we record this today, we played Detroit.
Yeah.
We'll get to some stuff with that later, but he's here, and 2 weeks from now, he plays Calgary for the first time in Calgary.
No, he is going to get a bad reception.
It's gonna be weird. It's definitely gonna be like a Johnny T in New York kind of situation to
It's
start.
strange. I've seen on Twitter more so recently than ever.
Mm-hmm.
At first, it was just all out chaos in Calgary, and now it feels
Yeah.
like the fan base is more split than anything.
Well,
Because I have seen a
it's
lot of
weird.
Calgary fans who have warmed up to it and have been like, you know what, it is your decision. Like,
Yeah.
do what you like. We're fine. We ended up getting Huberdeau and
The same
Uyghur.
with Matt Kachuk, right?
Yeah, I think some Calgary fans have gotten over it already and
Mm-hmm.
appreciate what he did for them, and then some fans are just never going to warm up to it and
Give me a second.
give him the old warm and fuzzy when he comes back. Like, so I don't know. He's gonna get booed. I don't know if it's gonna be all out. Everyone there is gonna boo him, or if it's gonna be a little bit of a mix, kind of like when Panarin came
Yeah.
back, or when Bobrovsky came back.
Bob was definitely a mix.
Yeah, which I thought was strange.
Bread, I feel like Bread was a mix. A
Bread
little
was
bit
more
more on
booze,
the boost side of things, but at the
but
same time, he was still mixed.
yeah.
Hopefully Johnny gets a good reception for the most part in Calgary. I mean, look at what he did for him.
I'm hoping for it, but he's going to get the Jeff Carter treatment, in my opinion.
But yeah, John, that's actually, it's funny because that relates back. We'll talk about the actual chart in a minute because we're at the halfway point in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I like going over things like this at the halfway point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Johnny's a good pick, and mine's going to go to another rookie. Tim Burney, first NHL goal. Yay for Timmy. We were waiting on this.
Yeah.
It was a pretty sick shot, too. I'm not going to lie.
I still haven't seen it.
It was, he jumped up in the rush, and he got a nice little rip on it. And
Damn.
yeah, good for Timmy.
Good for him. Yeah. That Tampa game sucked.
Both of the games in between shows really sucked because we gave up a touchdown with no extra points each.
Yeah.
See, tying it back to the wild card weekend, huh?
Yeah, at least their kickers aren't very good, but
yeah. So
people keep saying that we have a bad defense, but in both of these games, we only allowed one touchdown and we got a safety.
Yeah.
So
a safety and a field goal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because one was 6-3.
Yeah.
So there are our picks for today's Kepi Keepers, and now I want to go over the chart because this is actually like, last year's chart showed a lot more variation in terms of making sure we gave guys their due. This year's a lot more concentrated, and because of the way this season's gone, there haven't been a lot of Keppies.
No.
There haven't been a lot of Keppies in terms of guys that made the team out of camp.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
So this year, leading off with the superstar, the guy that's here for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny got 1 from you today.
Yep.
And 4 from me.
So how many does he have for me?
Just the 1.
I've only given him 1.
Today's is your first Kepi for Johnny. It's a lot like Oliver Bjorkstrand last year.
I've definitely given him Cappies before.
No, you haven't. You didn't.
I'm gonna have to listen back. There's no way.
Well, it's a lot like Ollie last year, right? Like I just kept giving him all the kudos, and I kept trying to not give him Keppies in order to give you a chance to give one to Oliver.
Wow. I could have sworn that I gave him to him the first game of the season, though, just for signing.
I can't remember. I feel like
I'm gonna have to go back. I don't think that's correct.
I feel like we both gave one to Tara for that, but for the first game of the year.
That is insane.
I can't remember. But that's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's your first like recorded Kepi for Johnny is today. Boone doesn't have a single one. Yeah.
I also feel like that's not correct.
It's correct. Dude, I've been keeping track. I've been watching episodes back and keeping track. It's very strange, right?
Yeah.
Patrick Laine has 2, both from you.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that makes sense with how
Yeah.
much he's been out.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of this has to do with just how many injuries we've had.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
And bringing up the injury point before I get back into this chart, this is ridiculous. It is night and day. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
It's not close. The man game's lost. Let me see if I can find this actually. Because I'm pretty sure it might have been bookmarks. I thought I had this somewhere. Bookmarks. No. Profile. Try my personal. There it is. Okay. So you ready for this? In season man games lost through yesterday, Friday the 13th.
Okay.
This excludes any absences that started from game 1. Columbus leads the way with 250.
Okay.
Next is Winnipeg. 166.
Yeah, that's still a playoff team.
It's just
the difference.
The sheer difference.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 2.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's had a significant impact on the season, but as I have said many times,
I know it's not an excuse anymore, but like, wow.
Yeah.
By the way, Connor Bedard, friggin' 10 games, 39 points. He's had 11 in 2 games since coming back from World Juniors.
That is one ridiculous player.
7 of them goals. He's so crazy. So yeah, Boone doesn't have any. Patrick's got 2 from you. KJ has 3. He's got 1 from you and 2 from me.
Yeah.
Which it's nice that we're giving KJ his kudos because he deserves it.
Absolutely.
The kids deserve all the kudos in the world. Rosie has 2, 1 from each of us. He's had a couple of good games, so I guess deserved, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Suppose. Gus has 1 that came from you.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Voracek has 1 before he went out.
Right.
And that was from me. So from one Jake to another.
Mm-hmm.
Cole's got 1. That's from you. And Cole's a healthy scratch tonight.
Is he really?
Yes.
The lines have come out?
No, there's a lot of game time decisions tonight. But Boone is in. Boone's confirmed to be in, and Cole's coming out. Okay. And I think Robbie's back too. With Bayreuther coming out for Robbie. So, and we'll get into Cole and KJ soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to we've ranted about this, but I want to actually talk about the deployment of the kids at some point.
Beyond ridiculous.
Because how just crazy it is. Chinny's got 1, and that's from me.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie's got 1 from you. Corrali has 1 from you.
Yeah, I believe that.
Poor Danforth. He didn't get anything before he got ruled out.
He was out early, first 5 games, right?
He was out at least very early, but he was playing so well. I'm surprised we didn't give him anything. He
hit such a small sample size, and there are just other guys to point to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He had the primary assist on Johnny's first goal here.
Yeah, he did. Good on Justin. I hope he's doing okay. I hope he's recovering well.
I'm excited to see him come back next year. He's an impact player for us.
Yeah, and he proved. I know you said small sample size, but he proved this year that you could put him anywhere. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, Danforth's the guy to look out for. Foodie doesn't have anything. Depth kid. No surprise. Here's a surprise.
He doesn't have anything.
Yeah. He doesn't have anything except for minutes, which, again, we'll get to that.
That guy's just out there skating.
Yeah. Here's a surprise. Matthew Olivier has one.
Not surprised.
That was for me.
There was a 2-week stretch where he was actually
like unreal,
solid player.
Yeah. I think I gave it to him for his goal and fight in the same game.
He channeled his inner Tanner Jeannot for about a 2-week stretch and then just completely dipped.
Yeah.
He's gone back to being Matthew Olivier.
Z doesn't have anything from us.
Yeah, because he got freaking hurt. So
yeah,
and done.
We'll mention that later here in a second when we get to everybody else. So Z doesn't have anything from us. Gavrikov has nothing from us.
He doesn't play well.
He's played okay at best.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because when he had to step up, right? He still really hasn't shown too much on that top pair.
Yeah.
What can you do?
He's second pair defenseman. But I think my criticism has been that he wasn't playing well when he was a second pair defenseman. When Zach was healthy, he wasn't playing well either.
Right. Which is a total switch from last year when he was one of our best defensemen.
Yeah, he was our second best defenseman last year. Without a doubt, in my mind.
And I know they're asking for a first and a third for him, but are you really going to be able to get that still?
Yes, you'll still probably be able to get that.
Still be able to get a first and a third?
You're getting a bona fide second pair defenseman who's only making $2.8 million.
Fair enough. Peaker doesn't have anything from either of us.
Yeah, which is funny because he's actually had some goal scoring this year.
Yeah, and he's played well, at least in transition for the most part.
His defense has been okay. It's taken a dip. His offense hasn't been very good, but he's never been a good offensive player.
No, you rely on him more for the defensive aspects of that game, right?
Yeah, and I'd like to see some improvements from that end, but I don't know. I'm struggling to almost judge these players anymore.
We talked about Peak last episode and what you could probably fetch for him. Really? As an under the radar trade target, right?
Like I said, would I do it for first or second?
No.
Probably.
Well, maybe early second.
Yeah. But am I doing it for a third? No. I don't think his value is a first or second. I'm just saying that if a team comes to me and offers me that, then I'm probably going to do it.
You could probably do that.
If his value is a third round pick, I don't see the reason to trade him. Just keep him
right
and hope to God in a new defensive system that
he shines. Yeah.
This is my concern. And I know we're in the middle of Kepi Keeper, so we'll keep going with this. I'll get back to this in a second, okay?
Yeah.
Who else have we got?
Boki has nothing. Hurt. Bean has nothing. Hurt and bad.
Yeah.
Here's a funny one.
Okay.
Goody has one.
Yeah.
And it's from you.
Yeah. He has confirmed played at least one good game with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
It's just funny because you and I have been, you especially have been the biggest critic of this guy. Well deserved.
Yeah. Like I said. I don't.
But it's just funny to see the one tally and it's under your name.
And you know why it is because when I criticize people, I also make sure that I give them credit for when they play well.
Yeah. You did that a lot with Corpy last year.
Yeah, and Corpy's played well this year.
Yeah. Blanks has one from you.
Surprised he doesn't have more.
I know.
He's been hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Hurt, right? You just chalk it up to those 250 man games lost.
Oh my
right?
God. I'm glad he's back.
Jeez. And I'm he went out the last game. Thankfully, he's okay. because it was
He said
another
he was
leg
back at
injury.
practice and he looked fine.
Yeah. So hopefully he's able to stick in there, right?
Yeah.
Elvis doesn't have anything. No surprise
Oh
there.
my god. Good lord, why would he?
Oh, I feel bad for him just as a person, but at the same time, it's like, come on, play better. Play, Elvis. We love you. Play better.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's out of love. We want to give you this kudos, man.
I'm not sure if you saw this the other day, but me and Svoboda went back and forth on Elvis because
Oh yeah, I saw this.
he gave up a goal against the Capitals that was just like bad luck, and I was like, at some point you have to make your own luck.
Was that the 1-0 loss, or
Yes.
was that the one goal he gave up?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, granted, that was like when he gave up the goal. It wasn't by the end of the game because I wouldn't have blamed him for losing the game. Only allowing
Right.
goals. Like you got to score, but I
Yeah.
remained on that. Like it, don't get me wrong. I agree with Jeff in the sense that this guy just needs some luck to go his way.
Yeah.
I also
He
agree
does.
with myself in the sense that you have to make your own luck.
Oh yeah, that's just hockey in a nutshell, right?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
the sport is so randomized. It's dude, it's knife shoes, it's a rubber frozen puck.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not even a ball, it's like a weird disc thing.
You're shooting it with curved wood, and not everybody has the same curve.
Not even wood, like composite.
Not even wood anymore.
Weird...
It's like friggin' oh god,
I don't even know what they make it out of. It's like they call it composite, but it's like, what is it?
Stuff. Like, I have no idea what it's made out of. Yeah, it's there's so many different variables, and you have these bouncy boards, and you have these glass stanchions where sometimes the puck takes a funny little bounce off of them. Like you don't know.
They bounce off cameras. They like.
It's one of the dumbest sports ever invented. That's why we love it. But
it's like it's so good, right? It's so weird. Just the evolution of the sport, and we love it for that reason. It's so strange.
Mm-hmm. But
it's so much fun.
You got to make your own luck,
and you do have to make your own luck.
You want to be successful in this league. It's just something you have to do, and the best ones do it.
This poor guy. Anyway, moving on. Jonas has one each.
Yep.
Because he's played well.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Terry has two each because he's played well. He's been the best goalie.
Yeah, he's been our best goalie by far.
I love this kid. I hope he does, I hope he's the next one in line. Right? Yeah. I know you paid Elvis the money, but like Terry looks like the real deal so far.
Yeah.
And I hope he's okay, with his injury now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think they said he's gonna be okay. He'll be back to back up soon.
Yeah.
Because I know it's Elvis and Corpy's back after he took some time off with his wife.
Yeah.
So so that's the chart, and then we get to the other guys. Emil Bemstrom, one from each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Gauntz, one from each of us.
Yeah.
Marcus Bjork has 3, which is the most revelation of all revelations, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought this kid would have come out of nowhere and been...
I literally, like when he signed, I was like, oh, minor league depth, I guess.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, he's been
so good.
Starter on defense. Like, I like his game.
Yeah, he's gotten 1 from me and 2 from you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember how. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I remember how. I gave an honorable one to Lars for getting a win in his 100th game coached. So, like, all right. Right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. Good on Larson, I guess. Marchenko has 3.
I'm stunned he doesn't have more. And he's been here for like a couple weeks.
I know. He's got 2 from me and 1 from you. The Buckeye boy, Carson Myers, got 1 from you.
don't even remember it.
I think you just shouted him out just to give him a shout out.
I might have.
From like, I don't know, for scoring his first goal of the year, something like that. He's out now too. And that's why they brought up Trey Fix-Wolansky.
The Monsters have to be just pissed.
These the poor Monsters. I feel bad for Vogelhuber.
Such a good start.
I know.
They're one of the best teams in the A. And good God, they're just losing everybody.
I feel bad for Vogelhuber because he's like because it's his first year as a head coach and he's like coming into the office every day like, okay, who do I have now?
It's like, God, I'm gonna win some games down here and you're taking all the guys.
I know. Gavin Bayreuther got one from me for a goal he scored against Chicago.
I'm almost getting sad listening to this.
I know. And then obviously Tim Burney got one from me today for his first NHL goal. Good for the kid. And then so far we've only had Jeremy and Laura on as guests. Mm-hmm. Jeremy gave his to Jonas, and there's Zach getting a Kepi from Laura. Before Zach got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the Kepi Keeper chart for 2022-23 at the halfway mark.
Oh my God.
Wow. I know it's been a while since like we've done an update like that with the charts and all of that. It just feels like it's night and day from last year, doesn't it? Because last year was like we were mediocre, but at the same time we gave so many guys such kudos.
Yeah, because
there was respectability there.
This is what we are right now is what they were supposed to be last year.
Sure.
And them being mediocre was nice.
Yeah, kind of. It was like weird, right?
It was like, yeah, this isn't a playoff team, but this is fun. Like
we're having a good
expectations. They look like they have a bit of a future here, and you know, I wonder the difference, the feeling would be right now if last year was this year and then this year was last year. If you went from picking 5th in the draft and you know, picking Kent Johnson, then you have a bad year, a year like this one, and say even if the draft position changes, you still select David Jiricek, it would still be a good pick. You know, whether it's 3rd or 4th or whatever. Like, and then you come out, you sign Johnny Gaudreau, and now you're having this year, which was last year.
You're on the rise a little bit more.
Yeah, 81 points in 82 games. The feeling would be totally different right now.
Yeah, especially with a guy like Johnny. Right?
It's a nightmare. And this is what I wanted to talk about specifically when we were talking about Andrew Peeke and some of these other guys. Mm-hmm. The concern I have on defense, Jake, right now is we need to fire Larson.
Yes, we do. Dude, we've been saying we need to fire Larson for weeks now.
When we fire Larson, we're going to bring in a head coach who brings in another new defensive system. That is the 3rd defensive system that you are implementing in 3 years.
Yeah.
That concerns me.
Because we know John's was, you know, very heavily focused on everybody chipping in defensively.
Yes, absolutely.
It feels like nobody plays defense.
Yes.
Anymore.
It's just a major
I know it's a huge shift and we need to play more North-South hockey, but play some defense.
The thing
Good Lord.
Last year, they were one of the worst defensive teams in the league. And it still feels like it was better than this year.
Yeah. I mean, just to, you know, go over some numbers from the past few games, right? The Washington game, 38-19, we led in shots on goal.
It was
I would argue craziest outlier.
I would say it's the best game they've played all year, complete head-to-toe hockey, and they lost.
Yeah. Follow that up with the 6-3 loss to Tampa. Shots 24-46 Tampa.
And then Carolina, what was it?
And then Carolina, we lost 6-2. Shots were 23-41 Hurricanes.
God. 40 is an expectation with this team.
Yeah. If you're Corpusalo, if you're Elvis, if you're Daniil, hell, if you're Jet Greaves, if he gets a shot, God forbid, you will face 30 plus. You will face 30 plus.
30, really?
30,
no.
30 minimum.
35.
Yeah. 35 minimum. Yeah.
Yes. Giving up 32 shots on goal is a good night for this defense.
Exactly, right?
And good Lord.
So, yeah, the Washington game, they just got goalied really hard.
This is the weirdest performance of the year. They finally,
and like I said, it was probably the most boring.
They suppressed chances. They didn't allow much. They got a ton of scoring chances.
I told you I fell asleep towards the end of the game.
Score. It's like the one really good game you play, complete head to toe, you get shut out. Good God.
Goal scorers for the game against Tampa: Gavin Bayreuther, Tim Burney getting his first, yay Tim, and then Marchenko because the kid is awesome.
Yeah.
Burney from Patty and Bokeh. I like that. I like that. I want to see more of that. And then Bayreuther from Rosie and Patty. Like, okay. I'd like to see more from Jack. But then again, he's one. Yeah, exactly. It's like beating a dead. Like, so much of this season is beating a dead horse. Right?
I'm kind of done with that experiment.
With the Rosie experiment?
I don't see anything that makes me think it needs to continue.
The rose is wilted?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It shouldn't got no more pedals to it.
No. And then the 6-2 loss to Carolina. Sean Corrali from Matt Olivier and Gavin Bayreuther. And we'll get to Sean in a minute. We've said we love Sean. He's a bottom 6 forward.
Yes.
And then Johnny from Patty and Bokeh. That you expect.
Yeah.
That is an expectation. Jonathan Gaudreau from Patrick Laine. That is an expectation. And hopefully Boqvist is a part of those goals as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what you expect out of these guys. Those are usual suspects.
They are.
And it's nice when you get the odd goal from a good Branson or a Bayreuther or whatever.
Right.
Right? Or Corrali and Olivier. Quit relying on these guys to do everything. And here, this is going to lead into the deployment and time on ice discussion, right? First of all, I want to read a quote from our friend Mark. Yes. And I want you to try to guess from when this is from. Brad Larson with the money quote as he ended his availability. We're going to have to learn how to figure this out.
That was from earlier this season. Like way earlier this season. That was that after the back-to-back Avalanche losses?
That was December 20th, 2022.
But it's incredibly concerning that there are several different points in the season that I could point to and say that's probably when that quote was from. As back to November.
That was before Christmas. Like, wow. Hang on. I'm just trying to scroll through and find these right things. Oh, geez. So yeah, Boone and Robbie come in against Detroit tonight. Sillinger, Bayreuther going out as scratches. Elvis is going to start. And this is the problem. We talk about playing the kids. You're scratching Cole Sillinger.
And instead,
I know
the player who is going to make the lineup tonight and will play 10 plus minutes
is Liam Foudy,
who has played in 52 career National Hockey League regular season games and has 8 assists, minus 15, does not have a goal.
Where here? Did I retweet it? Oh, no, wait, I bookmarked it. Okay. All right. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out to our buddy Kyle. Bucket Hat Kyle, Artillery Podcast, Bucket and Boomer. Great dude.
Yes. Both great.
I've met Boomer. He's a fantastic dude.
I think you have a tweet from Kyle that I also
that you know what I'm about to get to.
It's a fantastic tweet.
Time on, and they had a discussion about this on both of his shows.
Yes.
Time on ice last night versus the Canes. Liam Foudy, 16 minutes, 16 seconds.
Oh my God.
Jack Roslovic, 22-21. And here's one before I finish this tweet. I want to just tell you this one. That game, Sean Corrali skated 19 minutes and 38 seconds, Jay.
Yeah.
19 minutes for Sean Corrali.
Let me tell you, you know what's a testament to how bad Roslovic has been? 22 minutes for him is more egregious than 19 minutes for Sean Corrali, in my opinion.
And then Johnny skated what? A season low 14:35 or something?
Please.
And then here's the big kicker, right? Kirill Marchenko.
9, right?
8:42. 8 minutes and 42 seconds, people. For Kirill Marchenko. I get you're slotting him on the fourth line.
He has objectively been your best player. Like I don't understand the logic in any of it. Like I can't it's bad when I look at something and I'm like, I see the logic, I disagree with it. It's even worse when I'm like, I don't even see it. I don't know what you're going for.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Either I saw this tweet. I don't remember who tweeted it, but it is a very, very. It's the simplest way to say this. There's two options here. Either Brad Larsen's the worst coach we have ever seen in our lives,
or his assignment has. Yes, his assignment has been tanking.
Yeah. And I refuse to believe that that's it. Because this is not a new issue.
He's gone.
Sign Johnny Gaudreau to at the beginning of the season say we're gonna tank. What? No.
You don't sign Johnny Gaudreau for that.
You could have done it last year when you were supposed to suck.
Bad on accident.
All of a sudden, decide to tank once you sign a top free agent and lock in one of your more power players.
Not a top free agent, Jay Ashdown, the top free agent.
So, no, you're not tanking. You just suck. And there's I understand there's injuries. I understand that
it's no longer an excuse.
Go through a lot. They're not getting goaltending, but Jake, they're the worst team in the league.
It's no longer an excuse when you are
Chicago.
When you're the tops in man games lost. It's not an excuse anymore. It's just what it is. But that doesn't excuse you to play a bottom six center for almost 20 minutes.
It's like, you know what it is? The man games lost argument for this? It's like drinking a whole glass of poison and then blaming the paper cut for why you're dying.
Right.
It's like, no. I'm sure that's not helping, but God, don't drink the poison.
The poison for Cusco?
It feels like it's the same discussion every single episode, doesn't it?
It does. And I mean, it needs had.
Yes.
It needs to be said. But we're just circle jerking it.
At what point do we just kind of, what is this? Quite the term to use.
It's like, because we've had rants like this, but we haven't had an actual discussion about it, right?
Oh, yeah. I think from now on we just need to clip this entire conversation and just copy and paste it in any episode that we want to have.
But this is my point, right? Because we're halfway through the season now, right? Why are we not getting a second line of Kent Johnson, Cole Sillinger, Kirill Marchenko? Why are you still playing a Liam Foudy, Sean Corrali, Matt Olivier line as a second line when they are a bona fide fourth? I don't understand.
It almost, like, at this point, if this is what you're going to do, why not send them to the minors? If you were trying to tank, don't screw with their minutes. Don't screw with their development.
He had a hat. Kirill Marchenko had a hat trick. Yeah. Just how is he not getting more ice time? I understand, like, he's trying to give KJ time, I guess.
The most egregious one out of all of them is Sillinger, without a doubt.
Yes, and I mean,
because look, Kirill has.
Let's address Chinny real quick. I know Chinny's hurt.
Yeah.
But when he was healthy, he was one of your best kids, and you were still playing in bottom 6 minutes.
You're still playing him consistently on the third line. I'm trying to think of the way to say it. I don't understand in any way how you can look at a guy like Cole Sillinger, who you literally coached last year.
Yes, and your plan, I'm assuming Jarmo's plan, is to have him be your long-term number 2.
Yeah, he's a part of the long-term future. I don't understand how you can have that guy in your building, have coached him for a year, seen what he's capable of.
At 18 years old!
And consistently play him below guys like Jack Roslovic or Liam Foudy.
Sean Corrali.
Yeah.
And like I said, we love Sean Corrali. It was a great acquisition.
Nothing against Corrali.
That's nothing against Jack. We know what we got him in the package.
Jack.
Yeah.
It is against
Jack.
Jack.
Sure. It's against Jack to a point.
It is. He hasn't played well.
No.
He hasn't earned his minutes. This is what it is. It is no longer a system of earning minutes. This is what pissed me off the other day about what he did to Johnny Gaudreau and lowering his minutes when we need more out of him. You got to earn your minutes. Earn your minutes? What the hell are you talking about?
He's Johnny Gaudreau.
Earning minutes. What has Liam Foudy done to deserve 16 minutes of ice time? What has Jack Roslovic done to deserve 22 minutes of ice time? What Sean Corrali, I love the guy. What has he done to deserve 19 minutes of ice time?
Earn your minutes. He is Johnny
What has Kirill Marchenko done to only deserve 8 minutes of ice time?
He's Johnny fucking Gaudreau.
Like, what are we doing here?
Why are you not by default playing Johnny 19, 20 minutes?
Let me tell you, man. That 2020-21 season, the last year of John Tortorella, we saw Torts at his worst when it came to lineups.
And it's funny because he came out with that quote earlier today. Did you see this?
Oh my God. I almost missed those days compared to this shit.
Did you see his quote earlier today?
What did he say?
He said, I don't give a fuck how you perceive me over the whole iPad thing.
Yeah.
I miss quotes like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, this is a disaster, and
oh, it's so bad.
For like, I worry that you're screwing up your development of these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know we're talking primarily about like.
Yeah, here it is. I don't give a flying fuck about how I'm perceived. John Tortorella on the iPad incident.
Here's the thing: you fire Brad,
Like, I don't think it affects the forwards, guys like Cole
No, it doesn't.
Johnson,
Hopefully,
like the young guys, as much as it does your defensemen. Like, I know that they're not as big or prominent of your prospects or your young guys, your young core, but that doesn't help an Adam Boqvist or an Andrew Peak or
it
a
doesn't help a
Jake
Blankenberg. It doesn't help a Christensen. It doesn't help a Bean.
You're screwing up your defenseman's development.
It doesn't help a Bjork if you want to keep Bjork around.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't help any of these guys.
There are so many kids.
That is why I'm a little willing to, I don't want to say give a pass. I'm a little more understanding if this is the reason that we've seen the drop off from Vlad Gavrikov.
Right.
If this is the difference, then I get it.
I still don't. I don't understand the decision-making process.
Oh, I never understand that.
Behind saying, I know we are where we are. We're dead last in the NHL. But at the same time, why are you playing Rosie as much as you are? Why are you playing Sean as much as you are over a Sillinger, over a Kirill Marchenko, over a KJ? I mean, KJ's getting minutes, sure. He could use more, right? I mean, he's still he's not getting talked about for the Calder, but he's still putting up Calder numbers.
Who, KJ?
Yeah.
Nah, he's not putting up Calder. He's doing well though for a rookie.
For this team, he's unreal.
Yeah, I'm excited about his future.
Can't wait to see what this kid does. But that's basically it. You bring in a new coach, you immediately improve the defense, and you immediately improve how these young forwards play because you get to play them more. Decide to play them more. Yeah. Put guys like a Sean Corrali back in the roles that they fit.
Yeah.
He was good for that 2-week stretch. Right? That whole line was great for that 2-week stretch.
Yeah.
When the kids weren't playing as well as they would have.
And they've done nothing since. He saw them play well. He put them on the fourth. Here's the thing that's funny to me. His fourth lines play well.
Yeah.
Because when that fourth line was the fourth line, they earned their minutes.
Yes.
Because they were playing well. And suddenly they just became the third line, then they became the second line. It's like, no, they're not earning it. And then you look at a guy like Kirill Marchenko, who's on the fourth line, and he's earning his minutes throughout the game.
And you're still not even playing him 10.
Still not even playing him nearly enough. But it's funny to me. At what point do you recognize? This is what I'm praying for. You saw this fourth line play well for a 2-week stretch, and then you started to give them minutes. Hopefully, you start to do that soon with Kirill. But I have no evidence to support the concept that you will.
He, like I said, he scored his hat trick. There's so much hypocrisy under Brad Larson.
Yeah.
Because he comes out and he says, oh, the kids were one of our best lines after only playing them 11 minutes.
Playing them 13 or 14 minutes?
No, not even that.
Jesus Christ. 10,
11 at best. And then you come out after the hat trick game for Kirill and he's like, oh yeah, he was one of our best guys. 8:42. I don't get it.
It's exhausting.
It is.
It's genuinely exhausting.
It's I don't know what to say anymore.
I have a trivia question for you that is not related to the Blue Jackets because I want to get out of this topic before I get depressed.
Play the kids. That's all. We're going to wrap this up, but just play the damn kids.
I saw this earlier on Twitter. Connor McDavid's leading the league in scoring. He's got 82 points. Okay.
In 44 games.
Yeah.
Yep.
So obviously he's Canadian, right?
Yes.
Who is the second highest scoring Canadian player in the National Hockey League right now?
This season?
Yes.
In the NHL. Oh God. Patrice Bergeron?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Sid.
Nope.
Tell me.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Hey, good on Nuge, huh?
Yeah. 53 points.
Good for Nuge. Wow, that is such a discrepancy.
Right. And then third. Do you have a guess at who's third?
Is that one Sid?
Nope. He is fourth.
Hubie.
Nope. Hubert has not been good at all this year. He's got 28 points, I think.
Oof. Oh. Canadian. I don't know why I have trouble. Maybe it's just because there's, 95% Canadians in the NHL that I have trouble picking one.
I'm surprised you haven't guessed this guy because you're a big fan of him.
Uh-oh. I'm going to feel stupid. Who is it?
Mitch Marner.
Oh, Mitchie! Yeah, that's right, baby. Good on Mitchie. I know because we talked about him during his streak, right?
So yeah. So
I love this kid. I love that kid so much.
There's a tie for fourth. It's Sidney Crosby and Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Good on Pierre. He deserves his kudos. And I mean, we talk about that trade all the time.
Yeah,
we were involved quite frequently. But yeah, good on PLD. And now we're going to actually get into the standings and then a little bit of award stuff. Kind of like what we did with the Jack Adams at the end of last show.
Okay.
So, Eastern Conference. Top 3 in the Atlantic. Boston is running away with everything. This is cup or bust for this team. No doubt about it. 41 games played, 32, 5 and 4 for 68 points.
Hopefully their next game, though, they'll lose in overtime or shootout.
They play the Leafs tonight, and Austin's a game time decision.
Hopefully they do, because in 42 games, they'll have 69 points.
Would be pretty nice. Their points percentage is an 829, and they are a plus 65.
That was ridiculous.
It's so crazy.
829. That looks a lot like was the save percentage this year.
It's God. Toronto is second in the Atlantic, 43 games, 26, 10, and 7, 59 points. That just shows you the chasm.
Probably going to have to play Tampa again.
That just shows you the chasm of what Boston's doing, right? Yeah. Their points percentage is a 686, and they're a plus 31. And then Tampa is third, 40 games, 26, 13, and 1 for 53 points, a 663, and a plus 25.
Mm-hmm.
So Tampa's doing Tampa things.
Yep.
Right? Because ever since Tampa won the President's Trophy and lost to us, really they just need to make it, and then they can kind of coast, right?
A little bit, yeah.
In the Metro, top 3 in the Metro: Carolina Hurricanes, 42 games, 26, 9 and 7, 59 points, 702 plus 21.
Yep.
The New Jersey Devils. These are I do love this story with the Devils this year.
They're fun.
It's such a good story. And shout outs to Neil, shout outs to Alex. They're our boys.
Yep.
They're our Dev boys. And I know they're having fun. And, we love chirping Neil left, right, and center.
Yeah.
He's a great dude, though.
Yeah.
42 games for the Devils, 27, 12, and 3, 57 points, a 679, and a plus 36. That goal differential is pretty cool.
Yeah.
They love scoring.
Who would they play in the first round if the season ended today?
Hudson River rivalry with the New York Rangers. That'd be a fun series.
Yep.
That'd be a really fun series. Rangers, 43 games, 24, 12, and 7, 55 points, a 640, and a plus 23.
And then interesting, the 2 wildcard teams are both from the Metro.
The 2 wildcard teams are a tale as old as time.
Yep.
Washington holds the first 44 games, 23, 15, and 6, 52 points, 591, and a plus 20. These guys have roared back after a really slow start.
Pepper's played better. And they're getting guys back. They're getting healthy. They're getting Tom Wilson back. They
finally got Nicky back. And Tom, yeah.
They're interesting.
I'll say that Dylan filled the role really, really well.
And he makes them
with Nick out.
He's very complete. Like you go 1, 2, 3 with Backstrom, Kuznetsov, and now Dylan Strome. And then you got Anthony Mantha.
I mean, they've been playing Stromer on the wing because you put Lars Eller down there and you put Nick Dowd down there. They've got good center depth. Yeah.
I like how they're set up.
And then obviously Ovi. Freaking Ovi is Ovi.
Yeah.
The dude is literally the best goal scorer of all time. Like, there's no doubt in our minds anymore.
If they could find a way...
He just needs to climb that one last hurdle, right?
Right. If they could find a way to get a defenseman to the deadline, they could actually be a potential threat.
Well, they need one because Carlson's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
His ear got chopped off.
Yeah, that's tough.
His ear got chopped off after taking a puck to the ear.
Yeah.
That's such a weird injury. And it's like, oh. It's like, geez. Because you're riding Gustafsson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his hat trick and his 1 goal against Columbus. That was a game winner and a snooze fest. Dmitry Orlov's interesting. I think he could be like a trade target for him, even though he's really good for them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have options. And then Darcy's been great. Darcy and Charlie Lindgren.
Yeah, they've both been exactly what they needed.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, Igor's Igor. I think the Devils finally got some goaltending with Vitek. Blackwood's still kind of a question mark.
He's a major question mark. They're going to upgrade a goalie, I think.
Well, they found one in Vitek, which is great. Vitek Vanacek's been amazing. I would be
surprised if they just outright waived him and said, we're praying a team will maybe make a claim on him because I think they really like Akira Schmid.
They do like Schmid, and he's been fine, and Dawes has been okay since he's come up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're fine. I think they're set at goaltending as long as Vitek is healthy.
And then the Canes have, Calder, friggin' Pyotr Kochetkov, and then they just got Freddie back, and Ronta's been solid. Yeah, Ronta's been solid.
Yeah, they're set in that.
Yeah, they're set, and then obviously the Rangers ride Igor. Like, that's really all you need. And then the second wild card is Pittsburgh, 41 games, 21, 14, and 6, 48 points, a 585 percentage, and a +9.
Yeah, as long as that team is Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, they are a threat to win the cup.
That center depth is still just because you have Jeff Carter and Teddy Bluger.
Jeff Carter's falling off a map, though. He is bad.
I mean, he's a bottom 6 guy. Like, we know he's been a bottom 6. He's old. Yeah.
He's old, but he's bad. They need to upgrade.
That has, like, sometimes with guys like that, sometimes it does just flip a switch, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He was good last year.
Yeah.
He was very good last year. Not very good anymore.
But sometimes that happens.
It does. Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. And they have brilliant wing depth with, like Ricard Raquel's been great. We love Jake Gensel.
We've always been very high on Brian Rust.
Yep.
Yeah, I like their wings. They're similar to Washington. They just need to upgrade on defense, really.
Chris is Chris.
Yep.
Chris Letang is Chris Letang.
Dumoulin's been bad.
Dumo's shocking.
He's like shockingly bad.
They're really missing John Marino.
Yeah, I would say so.
And good on Johnny for doing his thing in Jersey, right?
At least Petrie has been what they were hoping for.
Yeah, Petrie kind of doing what they signed him to do.
Yeah. God, who else do they have? Oh, P.O. Joseph's finally stepping up and
Good
playing
on
for
Joseph.
them. The fans, I've noticed, they like him. They like his game, but they're similarly frustrated in the sense of like, can we just play this guy? Because
Right.
they still continually give Dumo more minutes than him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and then
they've got Chad Ruedel, they got Mark Friedman. So
that's my boy Mark.
Yeah. They just need a defenseman, and I think they'll be fine. But
yeah, and then the teams in the hunt, the Islanders are right behind them with 47 points. Detroit's got 43. Buffalo is 42. And Buffalo's looking good.
Of those teams, I think Buffalo may have the best shot at making the playoffs.
Buffalo just needs to keep climbing.
They just need goaltending.
They just need goaltending. And I mean, New York, the Islanders, they're a really solid team too. Very, very solid team.
I don't agree.
Not as solid as last year.
They're very old. They're not offensively gifted.
Sorokin's great.
Sorokin's great. That's it.
And Varlamov's a really solid
there.
backup.
Right there. They're a team that wins games based off of great goaltending.
Yeah.
If you take away the goal, like how I measure teams is put an average goalie in their net. What are they? Put an average goalie in the Islanders' cage. They are one of the worst teams in hockey.
Mm-hmm. And then Detroit is doing okay.
Yep.
They're kind of slipping.
Mm-hmm.
And then Buffalo's climbing.
Put an average goalie in Buffalo's net. They're one of the best teams in the league.
You know what's shocking to me is Florida.
They don't score. They have like the worst finishing in the league.
The only guy that does score is Matt.
It's Matt, yeah. Barkov struggling.
Lundell's struggling. Yeah. Both Sams are struggling. Right?
Yeah. Would be a shame if that first round pick they gave up for Ben Sherratt turned out to be something this year.
Yeah.
It won't happen, but the idea of that first round pick winning the lottery and turning into Connor Bedard is genuinely hilarious.
Well, it's funny because, like, look at Ottawa, too. Like, they were supposed to get better. And they're 500.
They're 500. They've gotten better.
Well, they were supposed to start contending this year, right?
Yeah. And they're not. But they have gotten better.
I guess.
It's a slow climb for them, I suppose.
I like the Sens lineup. Like, getting Cat and Giroux was awesome.
Their defense just sucks. They got two defensemen.
They're writing.
They got Sanderson.
Sandy's great. I love Sandy.
They got Zoom too.
They do have Zoom.
They got 3 defensemen.
Yeah, they have 3 defensemen. It's like, yeah. And then the Western Conference. Dallas leads the way in the Central. Who saw this coming? I mean, we kind of did because you're writing Jason Robertson.
Yeah.
Because Dallas is one of those weird teams, right? You don't know what to expect from the year.
We never know what to expect from Dallas. Do we remember what our predictions were for the Central? I think we both had Colorado winning the division, but that's not necessarily a bad take. They just had a shitload of injuries.
Right. I think we both had Dallas somewhere in the middle, if not around 3-4. I think we both also
had St. Louis in the playoffs, and St. Louis is very much not in the playoffs right now.
I had St. Louis like 5th or 6th.
I think
I had St. Louis 5th.
Yeah.
I think I had St. Louis 5th, so I'm looking okay on that. Dallas 43 games, a 25-11-7 for 57, 663 and a plus 34. Look at those guys.
Yep.
Just Jason and Rope and Pavs just lighten everything up. Sagan's rejuvenated.
For first, really.
Sagan's rejuvenated, yeah. And it's just awesome, right? Because look at what Pete's doing. And Pete DeBoer is a huge part of that. Because he does well every first year with a new team. No wonder he's up for the Jack Adams, right?
Yeah, but I think the coach of the team that's tied with them deserves it more.
Rick Bowness and the Winnipeg Jets, 43 games, a 28-14-1 record for 57 points and a plus 32.
He's not going to win it, but he should be top 2 in my opinion.
Definitely a dark horse.
Yeah.
He's a dark horse in the sense that, like, they wanted Trotz.
Let me tell you, you know why this guy deserves the Jack Adams? He's got Scheifele and Wheeler playing defense.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing.
There's your answer.
You're getting a huge season out of Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah.
Huge season out of that. Your usual suspects like Kyle.
You mentioned this. They're second in man games lost.
Yeah. Josh Morrissey's having a hell of a year. No wonder he's going to the All-Star game.
He's finally officially turned into a bona fide elite defenseman.
Nick Ehlers is doing his thing. Kyle Connor's doing his thing.
Yeah, Kyle Connor's outstanding. Oh my god. Look what he's working with on defense. It's like, Morrissey's great, but it's not a bunch of elite guys. Like, it's
Dylan DeMello's still there. He's doing all right.
He's solid. Dylan, solid. Schmidt, solid. Nobody really stands out. Neil Pionk's numbers stink.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be one of their top guys, right?
Yeah. Logan Stanley's not great. Like, their defense isn't great, but they're a good defensive team.
Yeah.
Connor Hellebuck's a fantastic goaltender.
Their bottom six is...
Let me tell you.
Their bottom 6 is really solid. They got Abado Yars and Sam Gagne.
That's a team that could maybe use a Vlad Gavrikov.
That is a team that could use a Vlad Gavrikov. You're right.
If they were to make a move like something like that, I think that they would be.
What would we ask for?
My dark horse to win the cup.
Probably, yeah. That's definitely a dark horse cup favorite. What would we ask for out of Winnipeg?
Picks.
Just picks.
Yeah.
I didn't really. Yeah, I wouldn't know if you wanted like a prospect out of that too. I don't know, but. Rounding out the top 3 in the Central, you got the Minnesota Wild, 41 games, 23-14-4 for 50 points, a 6-10 and a plus 15. Kirill and his band of merry men.
And look, remember, they got off to a bad start.
They did. Both 2000s teams got off to a really bad start. It's just one kind of righted the ship.
Yeah, they recovered, and they're a team that's been, their struggles have come in net.
One righted the ship, and the other one is sinking like the Titanic.
I'm interested to see what Minnesota does at the deadline around their goaltending.
Yeah, because Fleury's been fine. He looks like age is finally catching up to him.
He's all over the place. He's got,
like I said, it looks like his age is finally catching up to him.
He's got a 902 and a 293.
We didn't even mention Ottinger in Dallas. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Do we need to mention him?
No, not really. I mean, it's just like you talk about these individual players for teams that we don't talk about much because they're in the other conference, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like there are so many guys we could still talk about.
924, 228, 19 and 6 with 2 shutouts. Shake Ottinger is fantastic.
Mammoth. Did you see that the Stars store is going to start selling like otter plushies, like actual toy plush otters with Stars jerseys on them?
That's pretty cool.
That's adorable. I love it.
I'm excited to talk about this next team.
We're going to the Pacific.
Yep. Yeah, we are.
And the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Vegas Golden Knights, 43 games, 28-13-2 for 58 points, a 674 and a plus 22. These guys are back in a big way.
18-10-1 with a 914 and a 266 with 2 shutouts. Logan Thompson.
That's all-star Logan Thompson.
Yeah, you bet your ass it is.
Jack Eichel's back to form.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking amazing.
Not even back to form.
He's like back.
Hockey he has played in his career.
Yeah, he is like back in a big way.
He is outstanding with them.
You got the Misfits doing their thing. Marshy, Wild Bill, and Riley Smith are all, just doing their thing.
Yeah, Phil Kessel in the bottom 6, contributing 17 points in 43 games.
Phil fits well.
Yeah.
Phil fits really well.
But
Bruce Cassidy has this team. Yeah, Bruce Cassidy has this team chugging along.
You know, look at the guys that they got on D. They got Nick Hague, Alex Petrangelo, Braden McNabb, Alec Martinez, Shane or Zach Whitecloud if he's healthy. I don't know how long he's going to be out. But it's interesting. I'm curious.
Can we talk about Paul Cotter?
Sure.
Great kid. Like really, really solid kid for him. You know?
He's got 8 points in 25 games. So
I'm just looking at the top 3 for Vegas. Riley's got 18 goals, 29 points. Stevenson, 40 points in 43 games. They're playing Edmonton tonight. Oh boy.
Stevenson, Stone, Eichel, Smith.
Yeah, and I think Mark's out again.
Yeah, well, they've had injuries. Some of these guys have been out a little bit, but they're spreading the wealth around because none of their guys are exploding with points. They're
right.
Just a solid, balanced team. And that's what I like about Vegas. They're very, very balanced.
And that's the way Bruce Cassidy did it with Boston last year, too.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So Cassidy is a huge testament to that.
Yeah.
No wonder we called that their biggest free agent acquisition this year, right?
It was. Absolutely.
Second place in the Pacific, the Los Angeles Kings. They've played 45. They have a 25-14-6 record for 56 points, a 622, and their goal differential is 0.
Yeah. So this is a case that I was referring to earlier of take this team and give them average goaltending. What are they? The Kings might actually be the best team in the league if they just got average goaltending.
Yeah, because Quickie's been up and down.
Oh my God, Quick has been garbage. Cal Peterson has been horrific.
Phoenix Copley
is a body who is in the net who is not worse than those two. They are 25-14-6 with some of the worst goaltending in the league. Battling with Columbus for the worst goaltending in the league.
I mean, because, like, you just have this offense that lights the lamp everywhere.
And a really, really good defense, too.
It's, you know, Kopi's doing his thing. Kevin Fiala is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a trade that was. Right?
Yeah.
It was a huge, huge trade getting Kevin Fiala. I follow Kempe. Arvidsson's doing. Philip Deneau, dude, is following up huge from last year. He looks great.
Okay. So this was as of January 8th. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was about 6 days ago.
Okay.
This was the last updated goals saved above expected.
Okay.
The Kings are 30th in the league.
Ugh.
Only teams that are worse are Columbus and San Jose.
San Jose's got some rough goalies.
They're minus 15.4, just to give you reference.
Uh-huh.
They're 2 slots below Chicago.
Right.
And Chicago is minus 8.
Oh. I see.
Yeah. So, there's that.
And then another big story to round out the top 3 in the Pacific. These guys, the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
It's awesome. 41 games, a 25-12-4 record, 54 points, a 659 point percentage, and a plus 25.
It is funny. Martin Jones this season, okay? 25-3. A 268 goals against average with 3 shutouts. And he still has a save percentage below 900.
Poor Martin.
He's getting 8. That's the thing. He's at 898, but he's still 25.
Oh, poor dude. I feel bad for him.
I don't feel bad for him. He's putting up wins.
He's putting up the wins, but it's like his numbers gotta come on.
Yeah, who cares? He's winning games. You know?
Top 3 leaders for the Kraken. Jared McCann, 38 games, a 19-8-27 line. Leading in goals. Assists. Andre Burakovsky, 41 games, 11 goals, 24 assists for 35 points, and then Burrow leads in points.
And there's a two-way tie for second on the team in points between Jordan Eberle and Matty Beniers.
Calder favorite, Matty Beniers, all-star Matty Beniers, and can I just
He's
say...
going to win the Calder. He deserves the Calder, and I'm happy for him.
I miss Oliver so much. God, I still miss Oliver Bjorkstrand. Oh my God. Let me actually see what Ollie's doing this year. 41 games. He's got 6 goals, 14 assists for 20 points.
Not his best work.
Not his best work, but
So,
I mean, God, I miss him.
Battle of Alberta are the two wildcard teams.
I do want to address this really quick with Seattle, though. Ellie Tolvanen. It's been great ever since they got him.
It's almost like he's a good player.
Almost, yeah. He's got...
Nashville, who is just outside the playoff picture right now, could probably use a guy like that.
He's a half a point a game player. 6 goals, 4 assists for 10 points in 20 games.
Yeah,
and their defense is the same exact defense, but they've actually been playing well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got guys like Adam Larson and Jamie Alexiak, who've always been pretty solid defensive guys in their career. Vince Dunn has had a major turnaround this season.
Yeah, he has.
Vince Dunn's defensive results have been
Gru's not looking great in net.
Gru's looking exactly how he did last year.
Yeah, he's got an 885 and a 349.
They got Justin Schultz, who's actually been playing pretty well.
Justin's been all right.
Yeah.
And still no Drieger.
Yeah.
Drieger is yet to play
I think that they're a threat if they can get Drieger back at the right time.
Matty Beniers, a 16-18-34 stat line in 41 games.
Yep.
Good for Matty. And then, like you said, the two Alberta teams are bringing up the wild card spots. Calgary in the first one, 20-14-9 record, 49 points, a 570 and a +5. They, I don't know what to say about Calgary other than it's just like they really miss Johnny and Matt.
They're very underwhelming.
Yeah, they miss Johnny and Matt, and Weegs has been like, what are they doing? Weegs and Hubie.
Weeger's been great. Hubie's been 8 goals, 29 points in 40 games. That's just not him.
Didn't he say he was going to try to get Elias to 50?
Let's see how he's doing with that. Right now, he's at 13. So,
need a bit of a heater.
I would say so.
Need a bit of a heater there. You want? I like
he is leading the team in points. Lindholm is with 39.
Okay,
he's been really good. He's number 2. Kadri has been really good for them.
Kadri's solid. I like. We love Nas.
Yeah.
And then Edmonton in the second wild card spot, 43 games, a 23-18-3 record for tied in points. A .557 percentage, though, and a +14. Connor's obviously leading the way. Leon's right there behind him. Hyman,
Hopkins has been
Nuge.
Fantastic. Zach Hyman he's been good with them. And that's it.
Darnell
Skinner.
Stuart Skinner. Good story.
The defense stinks.
Darnell Nurse looks awful.
They don't have a bottom 6. Their defense stinks.
$9.25 million for Darnell Nurse, Jay.
Oh my God. Not ideal.
It's just Connor and his band of merry men, right? It's Connor and then Leon right there. They miss Evander Kane. It feels weird saying that, but they miss Evander Kane.
He helps, but he doesn't solve the fact that their bottom six still sucks and that their defense sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he
he'll
doesn't
make them
solve
better.
the
He'll make them
issues
better.
that
They
yeah.
definitely miss him, but I can't in any serious sense pick the Oilers to do anything this year. I know Connor McDavid's superhuman, but he'd have to do things that we've just never seen before in order to win.
He's on pace for the best season since Steve Yzerman.
Yeah.
69 goals and 153 points.
I hope he doesn't hit 70. I hope he just misses it by
just misses it, yeah. Because that would be pretty nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
St. Louis is actually doing better than we thought.
They've improved over these last few weeks. They've started to climb up a little bit.
21-19-3 for 45 points in 43 games. They're a minus 18, though.
Yeah, they're bringing up the rear.
It's Binner.
It's
Binner. Binner sucks. And Thomas Greiss, like, you don't have Billy Husso back there.
Yeah, I know. I understand why they stayed with Binnington, and this is totally revisionist of us to say this because it's hindsight's 2020. I can't help but imagine where they'd be though if they just kept Billy Husso.
Yeah.
That's a decision I think they're going to regret.
Yeah, and then Tarasenko still wants to leave.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You got guys in the last year that these next
Ryan O'Reilly could leave.
Important, so you can identify if you need to sell or buy at the deadline.
Exactly.
Because O'Reilly, his contract's expiring. Tarasenko, his contract's expiring.
Sure, you have Kyrou and Thomas.
Yeah, and you know some of your like Parayko and Crew are locked up, so is Justin Falk. But you have to figure out what you want to do. Like, what are you long term?
Yeah,
that's a team. I think they're not a rebuild. I think that's a team that needs a retool.
That's probably a 2-3 year thing.
I'd say 1 or 2. Yeah,
1 or 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Nashville's behind them. 41 games in 19, 16, and 6 for 44 points.
That's a team that needs to rebuild.
537 and a -6. You can't just win with nothing but juice.
I think they're second or third in the league in goal saved above expected. Islanders are by far and away number 1. I'm pretty sure the Predators are 2 or 3.
Kevin Lankinen's not a great backup anymore at all.
No.
I'm
better than David Riddick, though. I'll give him that.
Better than Riddick. Dutchie's doing all right, I guess. You want to talk about your bullet train story?
Yes. Oh my god.
Just to bring that up.
What the hell is this guy's name?
I don't know.
Bullet Train Cast. I want to see if anybody understands what I'm talking about.
It's not Jared Leto, is it? Because
no. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Okay.
So
for those of you watching on YouTube, he's going to bring this up on the screen.
Yes. I'm watching this freaking movie Bullet Train with my parents. And this dude comes on my screen.
Yeah.
And so like what he did for it was he had his like hair like all the way slicked back.
Yeah, like a Jared Leto.
He shaved his facial hair but kept like a mustache.
Yeah.
And I looked at this guy and I was like, oh my god, this guy looks like Matt Duchene.
Yes.
So here's the picture of him just on the train, just one of the shots of him, okay?
Yes.
Look at the screen. That is him.
That's Johnson, right? That's the actor.
This is Matt Duchene.
It's so wild.
The first, like, I showed my
I
mom
love
like,
it.
that picture of Matt Duchene. She was like, "Oh my god!"
I know. He texted it to me, and I was like, "No." It's so funny.
Other pictures of him that I could bring up.
It's such a funny story. But yeah, that one looks more like Phil Forsberg to me.
Yeah, it's like you get a combo because like his hair is starting to curl up a little bit, but like here it's more.
That's a Dutchie.
Yes,
that's a Dutchie right there.
Yeah, good movie though. I enjoyed it.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for the standings update.
I mean, Colorado is. Can we talk about Colorado for a hot minute? Because I know we said they have injuries, but like, whoa, this is getting bad. This is getting like really, really concerning.
Yeah.
They just got Nate back
So
a little bit ago.
They're missing Landeskog,
Yeah, and they're really, really missing Landeskog.
missing Manson, Byram, Nichushkin, Newhook, Helm.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're missing a lot of good depth on that team.
Dennis Malgin.
Malgin hurt already?
Yeah.
Oh. Jeez. Okay, I want to find the so bit of awards talk. We're gonna rapid fire this, kind of like what we did at the end of the last show with the last couple of awards, the Calder and the Jack Adams, right?
Yes. Okay.
So as a refresher on the trophy tracker and how NHL.com does this, 14 writers casted their vote, and it's on a 5-4-3-2-1 basis.
Oh yes. Okay.
Bringing up fourth, 35 points. Your friend, Rasmus Dahlin.
What is this for?
This is NHL.com. This is for Norris.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
This is for Norris. Okay. So 35 points, Rasmus Dahlin. He's been so good. He's been awesome. Third place, 36 points, Cale Makar.
Yep. I know who number one's going to be.
Yeah, we both do. I think hopefully those of us listening mostly do. At least those of us that are hardcore fans.
Yes.
Second place, 46 points, 10 points above Cale Makar, Josh Morrissey.
Yep.
This is just shows how great of a season this guy's having, right?
So I'll make my prediction right now, okay? My prediction for the end of the season. The final three for Norris are going to be Victor Hedman, Cale Makar, and Erik Karlsson.
So the guys,
because he's always there. Cale Makar, he will always be there.
Yeah.
And EK65 is going to win it.
Others receiving 10 plus points. Adam Fox has 18.
Yep.
Hampus Lindholm has 13.
He's good. Yeah.
He needs some more love because Hampus has been very, very solid this year.
He's been fantastic. That trade's really working out for them.
Yeah, and then obviously Erik Karlsson with the Sharks having his best year since 2017-18, really. 54 points in the voting.
Yeah.
And that's your Norris. Okay, let me find this. So the Vezina. All right, you ready?
I mean, I think I also know who's going to win.
I think we know. Yeah, Vezina is pretty locked up. First of all, the honorable mentions: 10 plus points. Vasilevsky 13.
Yeah, because he's always there.
And Igor 11. Igor Shesterkin.
Real quick, I just want to make a point about Erik Karlsson.
Yeah.
We say this is his best season since 17-18 because that's when they made their run. And he was outstanding.
Yeah.
But we have never seen him play at this level before. We've seen him. He had 78 and 81 in 11-12. He had 82 and 82 in 15-16. He was a point per game player one time.
What's his pace this year?
He's got 56 points in 44 games.
Yeah.
He's going to be well above a point per game. So if you do the math, let me just pull out my handy calculator, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
He's also leading all defensemen in goals, right? Like by a huge margin.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
If he stays on this pace, he's going to finish with 104 points.
Whoa. He's going to shatter it all.
Yeah. So just if
Holy
he can just
crap.
get to 100, like, oh my God.
And that's on the Sharks, guys.
Yeah. Yep.
That's on the San Jose Sharks, who are like, they play in the tank and they are in the tank.
Yeah.
So Vezina, fourth place, 22 points, Jake Ottinger. I mean, who would have saw that coming? Yeah. 24 points, Ilya Sorokin with the Islanders. Okay, he's really the only bright spot they have. Yeah. Except for Lane Lambert, he's a decent coach. Second place. This is a huge discrepancy. You ready for this? So I told you Sorokin has 24 points.
Yeah.
Second place, 55 points. Connor Hellebuck.
Okay. So
Connor's getting some love.
And then number one.
Number one with a nice amount of points.
69.
69 points for Linus Ullmark.
Yeah.
Dude has been
Money.
vital. Like, we bring up his record again. Because I remember we talked about it at the end of last show, right?
He is 22, 2, and 1.
He's 2-1 now.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Because they lost a game that they didn't score goals. So obviously that's Linus Ullmark's fault.
Right, exactly. He's only lost 2 games all year.
That's
well,
just so
3. 3, but it was overtime.
Yeah.
It was
It's
whatever.
ridiculous.
It's so crazy. And then the big one in the Hart. The honorable mentions with 7+ points. Nikita Kucherov with 8.
Mm-hmm.
David Pastrnak with 7.
Mm-hmm.
Pasta, yeah, I would put him in the conversation for it.
I already know who my top 3 is. Yeah.
Number 4, 26 votes. The Great 8.
Really? Okay.
Alex Ovechkin, 4th place.
Okay. All right.
3rd place with 30 votes, your boy Tage.
Yeah, he's in my top 3.
Yeah. Yeah, he's such a great player.
I think he's number 2 for me.
He's such a great player.
Yeah.
It's amazing seeing what he's doing this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, can we even, it's kind of indescribable, right?
Yep.
Because it's just like,
Best case of player development I've ever seen in my entire life.
yeah, honestly, because we thought he was getting nowhere in St. Louis,
He was
right?
barely in St. Louis. But when he went to Buffalo, he had a 2-3 year stretch where he was like playing in the bottom 6, sometimes
Yeah.
on the wing.
Kruger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Donnie Meatballs came in and said, hey, why don't we make you a top player in this league?
Let me tell you, man, Donnie Meatballs. What a fucking coach, man. What a guy.
I mean,
How did we
anything's
get one of those?
Anything's better than a soccer coach coaching hockey.
Yeah.
2nd place, 36 votes. So he's got a nice little lead up on Tager here. Jason Robertson in Dallas.
Yeah. Okay, so they got the top 3 right. They got the top 3
Yeah,
right.
they did.
My top 3 was going to be, I was switching them around. So it was McDavid, Thompson, Robertson.
Yeah.
Theirs is McDavid, Robertson, Thompson, but I'm fine with that. No, they got
And
the top 3 right.
obviously Connor McDavid's going to lead this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want you to know what the difference is in the voting.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Jason Robertson has 36 votes.
Yep.
Connor McDavid has 61.
I'm surprised he doesn't have more.
I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have more too, but at the same time, it's like, dude, there's 30 vote gap.
It should be unanimous this year.
Kind of should this year, right?
It should be a unanimous. Everybody gives Connor McDavid their first place vote.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm going to say this right now. If you're a voter and you don't give your first place vote to Connor McDavid, you're an asshole.
You're just wrong.
You're just trying to be different. Don't be
You're
an
just
asshole.
Yeah, it's just contrarian. You're just wrong.
Yeah.
And that sums up where the league is at the halfway point, and I want to end on a couple of interesting stories. Just to, tell some stories.
Well,
so
how long are they going to be? Because I got to go.
Couple minutes, probably at best.
All right.
Couple minutes each. So, game against the Canucks and the Lightning. Mikhail Sergachev, Connor Garland. They get in a scrum behind the net.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
And we've seen that, you should watch the clip. It's actually kind of funny when you watch it a couple of times.
Okay.
Kind of funny. Sergachev just gives him a pow, big old sucker punch right to the face. Right? And I mean, we've seen that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, glove on too.
Wow. No call on the ice.
No call. We've had the officiating discussion before and just how brutal it can be. This is some of the worst we've seen. That whole day was just non-call after non-call that should have been called. Right?
Yeah, that's brutal.
It was so bad. And Sergachev got a $5,000 fine for it, and that was it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
George Peros.
What a league.
Dude, I'm so jaded by how this league runs that kind of supplemental discipline.
Yeah.
Right? He just got fined though, too. He just got fined a couple of weeks ago. So it's like, why not at least increase the fine? Right?
Yeah.
If all you're going to do is fine him after 2 weeks, having something else happen, fine him more money. If that's the least you're going to do. For a glove-on punch to the face. And they called it roughing, right? Yeah. Under the circumstance of the fine. It's just like, are you even a league? Are you even a professional league?
No.
What are we doing here?
That's a joke.
A gibbon, like an actual chimpanzee, could ref a game better than that. Like, would they not? Yeah. I don't know. And then the last story I want to talk about, I got to pull this up on my bookmarks because this was really interesting. From Sin Bin Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you remember Robin Lehner?
Yes, I do.
Pretty solid goalie, right?
Yeah.
Robin Lehner is filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Really?
Linked to his ownership of an exotic snake farm in Missouri.
Interesting.
I mean, we know hockey players are eccentric, but cool. Right? The filing lists Lehner's liability between $10 and $50 million.
Oh my God. That is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And lists the same lending agency that was sued in Evander Kane's bankruptcy. Wow. It's just like a snake farm. Okay.
Sure. That was profitable.
I mean, it's Robin Lehner. I'm not gonna dog him too much for it.
I will absolutely dog him too much for it. You know why? Because it's a dumb financial decision.
I love this reply to Sin Bin Vegas. It's a meme with Robin's face on it. It says, "I'm never gonna financially recover from this."
One appearance on Shark Tank could have set him straight. One face-to-face meeting with Mark Cuban and he would have been done for.
Friend on Discord. Wasn't Lehner the one whose snake got into Mark Stone's pool? Or are there multiple Golden Knights in the reptile business? Okay, good quote to note. Man mentioned, Ben Rennick, was murdered in June 2017 by his wife Lindley, who was subsequently found guilty of the charges and sentenced to 16 years in prison. According to KMIZ, following Rennick's death, a lawsuit was filed against Lehner in 2018 after he stopped making payments for the snakes. At some point after Ben's death, he said the snakes began breeding amongst one another in an unsupervised, uncontrolled manner. That caused the collection of snakes to lose value. So I guess it was like this, he bought this rare snake farm stock.
Yeah, and they just got a bunch of horny snakes and suddenly they just lost their value.
I guess. Could be higher demand for purebred snakes. If you're going to invest in something like this and be eccentric like this, be smart about it too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from a guy that we love, Robin Lehner.
I do. I'm still very much of the belief that he is someone that the Blue Jackets should look at.
He's a great goalie.
Really good goalie, yeah.
a sensible person.
A very good story in hockey, I believe.
Sensible person, at least up to this point, for the most part.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, he's one of those players that actually actively calls out the league for bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's a great story.
Yep.
Because he comes out as a backup in Buffalo. He's not getting playing time. His mental health is deteriorating. His team's bad, and he's just not getting...
he was the starter in Buffalo.
Was he the starter for a while?
Because they traded a whole bunch to get him. Because,
that's right.
I can't remember his name, but he was the GM, and they got someone from Ottawa, went to Buffalo to be the GM. Traded for Lehner because Lehner was his guy. He was the starter. He actually had pretty good numbers in Buffalo. But the team sucked. It was miserable in Buffalo.
Right, and that
mental health deteriorated. He started to drink.
He's a huge advocate for the mental health stuff, which is
and then he
what
went
we
to
need.
The Islanders on a 1-year deal and turned his career around. Went to the Blackhawks, had success. Then was traded to the Knights. Obviously, signed that extension. He's been a very good goalie the last few years.
Has been out all year due to back issues.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a shame with the payday, right?
Yeah.
Because like we know Vegas is on the hook for so much LTIR, and he's just part of that now. But I mean, like I said, we love Robin Lehner. He's a great story, a great personality to have in hockey, right? Because he's someone that will like. He's someone that actively calls out bullshit, and he's sensible. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's actually like under the radar hilarious.
Yes.
I don't know. And it's just like a snake farm. Huh? All right.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, to be honest with you.
It sounds very Robin Lehner. Does it not? Oh man! Really, you're gonna follow up with the same firm that was sued by Evander Kane? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
There's something that's so funny about that to me.
Oh boy, we are in the dog days, over halfway through the year. Good luck to our boys tonight, as you know this goes out.
Bad luck to them. I bet on the Red Wings.
Yeah, I know you did. Next time you see us, it's going to be another show on a game day. We're going to be in Nashville, and in between that, it's a back-to-back at home against the Rangers, and then in Nashville. So back-to-back with travel. This Bedard kid sounds okay. I'm on the road for Fantilli.
Give me someone.
Just give us someone, right?
Yeah.
Give us someone to like, and I do want to end on this one last thing. So first of all, like we started the show, happy birthday, Dave Grohl. You're the man, rock on. Warren, Ohio's own.
Yep.
And like I said, I read this earlier. The bait of reporters trying to get Johnny to say something about backtracking his decision. Can we stop?
Yeah.
He made the decision for his own good, for his family. And he wants to turn this franchise around.
Yeah.
He's in here for the long haul, people.
Yep.
Let's enjoy some Johnny hockey.
Jake Jackets, a podcast for fifth liners and all puckheads around. Follow the guys on Twitter at Snake Gehringer, GARRINGER, and at By J Ashdown. And subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen. March on.